my way to the retreat on Vancouver Island in Port Renfrew. Port Renfrew? I can't not smile every time I say that. It just sounds so funny. So I caught the ferry to Vancouver Island this morning. I said goodbye to my sister last night. I dropped her off at the airport, which was horrible. It was really hard to say goodbye. I didn't want to say goodbye. And yeah, it was sad going back to my hotel room without her there. So I got up early today and I drove to the Tsawwassen ferry terminal and got on the ferry and had the ferry ride over here, which was really beautiful. And now I'm on my way to the retreat and I don't know what will be going on. I don't know if I'll have time to film today, so I just thought I'd film now. And yeah, I've noticed in BC, in British Columbia, there's a lot of deforestation. And it's funny because in British Columbia, the idea of British Columbia that I've always had from a lot of people is that a lot of hippies live here, and it's very progressive and very green. But I suppose there's a whole other side of it as well, and there always is, right? Wherever there's light, there is darkness. And I'm really noticing on Vancouver Island the amount of deforestation is pretty shocking. I looked at a map in this little cafe that I just stopped in, and I looked at a map of the old growth forest. It was a map that showed the kind of where the old growth is, and there's not much. They've well and truly fucking raped this land. Well and truly. There really is not much old growth left at all on Vancouver Island, which is really sad, and I'm actually really surprised. And just driving here now, there's just blatant clear cutting going on. I don't know what's that all about. I don't know. And I was just thinking, you know, yeah, it's such a touchy subject with a lot of people, and I get really angry about it. I get really angry about deforestation for so many reasons, because one of them, I don't think it needs to be happening at all. People are wiping their asses on old growth forests by buying, you know, that really soft toilet paper. They're still wood chipping old growth forest. Imagine that, these beautiful big trees, and they're making wood chips out of these beautiful big trees. And that gets shipped off to wherever. Some of it goes to China. I don't know where it goes. I don't know too much about it. It makes me want to educate myself more on it. But what makes me so angry about it is that the air quality on this planet is really suffering, and the trees are what clean the air. And the fact is that we all live on one planet, so when a forest is cut down, it doesn't just affect the people of that country or that area. That's just very limited thinking. When a forest is cut down, it actually affects the whole planet. So what makes me so passionate about it is, you know, we really need to start realizing that we don't just live in these small little communities that have no other impact on any other part of the world. We actually live in these small little communities that are like little cells of one big body, and everything that happens in that one cell affects the rest of the body. So the earth is like one big body, and if it's suffering, if it's got ill health in one area, the other area is going to suffer or have to work harder to make up for that area. Just like when we're sick, if we break our leg or something, the other leg has to work harder to take all the load, or if we get a cold, everything has to work harder. It's the same with the earth. The earth is one big body, and so it's time that we really start understanding that what we do in one area affects the rest of the planet. It's no longer possible to deny that. It's no longer possible to think that the mining or the deforestation or the pollution that happens in one part of the planet doesn't affect the other part. It's just very limited. It's very limited thinking. So on this drive, just seeing the deforestation and seeing all these forests cut down on this little island. Well, it's not that little. It's a pretty freaking big island. And seeing that map and seeing, wow, there's like almost no old growth forest left. There's very, very little old growth forest left. And the general kind of reputation that I've kind of experienced of Vancouver Island is that there's a lot of nature here. It's really beautiful. There's a lot of alternative people and that kind of thing. And I'm sure there is. Like, I can see there's a lot of beautiful nature here, and there's a lot more alternative people here than in other parts of Canada, that's for sure. But the fact is that the old growth forest is almost gone, and that's something that's really sad and makes me think a lot about humanity and the way that we live our lives so disconnected in so many ways. Disconnected from each other, disconnected from communities, disconnected from the rest of the world, all the while thinking that we are connected, but we're actually not. Anyways, I'm going to end it there. This is a very wiggly road and I shouldn't be doing this. So if you've got anything to say about this video, I'd love to hear from you. If you like what I'm talking about, or if you like this video, I'd love to see a little like button pressed. Feel free. Thanks for watching.